Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What are we talking about this time? Well, Capcom has confirmed that they're going to be making more Resident Evil remakes. You know, I prefer more. I mean, I like the remakes, I really do. Hopefully, it's a combination of things, right? Hopefully, it's a combination of making remakes as well as working on the newer titles, right? Resident Evil 9 in this case. Because I'd like to see the current franchise of Resident Evil games from Village continue on, and I would like to see the remakes because the remakes have been really good. So basically, Capcom has confirmed plans to continue the trend of making these remake Resident Evil games, although they stopped short of saying, what's next in line for the remake. During a PlayStation Partner Awards event in Japan, IGN, this article is from IGN, but IGN Japan, Resident Evil remake director Ishiro Anpo. Hopefully, I'm probably butchering the name, but anyway, said the company will announce this next Resident Evil remake in due course. He said, yes, according to, if Capcom wants to keep making remakes, he said, we released 3 remakes so far and they've all received very well. Since it allows a modern audience to play these games, it is something I am happy to do as someone that loves these older games, and we want to continue doing more. We want what games we will remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future, so please look forward to it. So, I mean, we just got Resident Evil 2, or I'm sorry, Resident Evil 4 not too long ago that came out, did really well, critically and users. It was a really good game, really good remake of the 4th game. And so, yeah, I mean, that's cool. I'm hoping, the Game Awards are coming up, so maybe, I doubt it, but maybe we'll get an announcement of, or maybe like a teaser of one of the remakes coming out. There's a few games that they could remake. One of the rumor mill is spinning, circling, and Resident Evil Code Veronica is what's been being rumored. And that would be awesome to see Code Veronica. Code Veronica is one of my favorites. I love that game back on the Dreamcast. It's one of my favorite ones. And it would be awesome to see Code Veronica get the remake treatment like 4 and 3 and 2 did. Other ones, that I could see them do. Another one that I would love for them to do, which this game has pretty much been remade in a sense, right? Back in the GameCube was the original Resident Evil. Because the GameCube remaster of Resident Evil, the original, is different, right? It's still some of the same, but they added new things. That graphically it looks better. And so, but I would love for them to remake the original one again. The original one's my all-time favorite, right? I love Code Veronica and I love 2, and I love them all in a way, except for 6, maybe. 6 wasn't that great. But I love all the Resident Evil games. 6 and Umbrella Corpse, those are not good. But most of the Resident Evil games, I would say 95% of them, right? I like. There's a few that aren't very good, but they're not the mainline stories except for 6, right? But I would love for them to redo the original Resident Evil, like just bring it into, retell the story again, bring it into even more updated graphics than what they have now. Just really, like, for the original Resident Evil, since it's the original, like, really go all out on it, right? Like, just crazy all out on it and make it really scary and survival horror-ish, and just like, go into the dark, nitty-gritty gruesomeness of the game. And that would be awesome, because the original was more survival horror than it as it slowly started to trend, it went more action than survival horror, right? As the games progressed. And so I would love for them to go back and redo that. Of course, there's also Resident Evil Zero. Resident Evil Zero is pretty good. I like Zero. Zero is not a super long game, but compared to the others, I thought it felt like Zero was a lot shorter. But I enjoyed Zero. I liked Zero. And then Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5, the thing about that game is it's not it's an okay game playing it single player, but I think that game really shined playing it co-op. Me and Shane have played that game several times cooperatively throughout that Resident Evil 5's campaign. And I think Resident Evil 5 is really really fun in a co-op setting than it is single player. I think it's okay single player, but it really shines in co-op. And then 6, if they redid 6, it'd be like just completely scrap everything you did in 6 and remake it from the ground up, because 6 was just bad, I thought, all the way around. And me and Shane played it cooperatively through the entire thing, and even that was not very fun. It was just fun enough because me and Shane were playing it, but beyond that, it wasn't very fun. So one of the games, Resident Evil games, that I think that they should redo, because I think it would work perfectly in this time frame now, is the Outbreak series. Now, I wouldn't want them to redo necessarily Outbreak 1 and 2, but I would like for them to do like an Outbreak 3 or a new Outbreak game, like maybe a reimagining of the first one, because that one was on PlayStation 2 and Outbreak 1 and 2, and that one was a multiplayer. I mean, you could play it by yourself, but it was a multiplayer game, right? And back then, you could buy the Ethernet, the broadband modem attachment for your the Ethernet network adapter attachment to your PlayStation back then. But it wasn't, the internet wasn't at that time, was still, not everybody had it, not everybody had fast internet. We had games like Outbreak and SOCOM and stuff like that, and I remember playing those. I remember playing SOCOM online a bit back in the day. I don't think I had Outbreak. I have Outbreak now, but I haven't played it. Yeah, I think First File, the very first game I have over there. But it would be cool to see that. They kind of made that with, in a sense, what was it? Resident Evil Resistance. But Resident Evil, was it Resistance or was it the other one? I can't remember, because they've made 2, right? The cooperative ones. Resident Evil Resistance, right? Resident Evil Resistance. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of. So that one was like the cooperative, like 4 players. You're going through a mission, but the problem with that one is it was very. It just wasn't very. I just don't think it was very good. Neat concept, but still just wasn't very good. And then they have the new one, which is the multiplayer one, which I don't know how well that one's doing. Reverse, I think it was called. I don't know how well that's doing, but I remember playing it and I'm like, this is not what I want, right? What I would love is something like Outbreak, which was like, you're just a regular, you had the different characters that had their different strengths and weaknesses. Like the cop could shoot guns, where the clerk couldn't shoot guns, but they were really good at, I don't know, picking locks or something, right? Whatever the case may be. They could carry more items, whatever it is. And so you would work cooperatively together to solve puzzles and get through segments of Raccoon City in order to escape. And that's a cool concept. Like, bring that back. It was survival horror. It was cooperative, working together with your strengths and weaknesses of the characters you chose to be able to go through areas and stuff like that. And in today's climate, where everyone has broadband internet, or mostly everyone, and fast internet connections, um, and everything's online nowadays, right? That would be the perfect time to reintroduce Outbreak, or a game similar to Outbreak to the world. So I think that'd be a good one. If we still had light gun games, if we still had light guns, I mean, I have a light gun for my PC, which you can check out our shorts. There's a short of us playing. Me and Patrick both have light guns, and we were playing a PC game on his TV over at his place. You can check out that short that we have out there on YouTube for it. We were using a Sinden light guns, which is cool. But you only have that. But if they, and I don't know why, this is going off on a tangent. I don't know why they haven't made light guns for. I know. I mean, but with the Sinden light gun, it works with LCD screens, right? With HD TVs, flat screens, right? That was the whole thing, is that they couldn't get it working. But with this, it uses software as well as the camera within the in the gun to know where you're pointing the camera, basically, which is in the gun, to the screen. The software, I'm sure there's more mechanics in the back end that happen, but it works really well. And so that'd be cool to see them bring out light guns for the PlayStation and the Xbox and stuff, and maybe the Switch as well, where we could then play on-rail shooters, right? I mean, we got the House of the Dead remake, which was a lot of fun, and I actually played it on PC with my Sinden light gun, which it worked perfectly. And that was really cool to play that game again and play with with the toy gun and shoot the screen and everything like that. So they had Resident Evil Dead Aim, and which was the on-rails shooter. That game, or that was it. That game wasn't on-rail shooter. That one you could walk around in, but when you went to shoot the zombies, it went into like a first-person mode. I think it was that one. I know there was what was it? Umbrella Chronicles. I think that was the Wii game that was on rails. That one just was on rails, but I think Dead Aim wasn't on rails. Like, you could move your character around, but when you went to go shoot zombies, it went to a first-person kind of like light gun mode where you could shoot with your light gun or your controller. They could still make games like that, but then you don't get the same satisfaction and enjoyment of those games when you're using a controller to shoot stuff on screen. It's better when you have the light gun. It's just, Time Crisis and all those games, like, it just feels more, I don't know, it's just a lot more fun, right? Going to the arcades, I love playing Time Crisis just for the gun and the pedal and stuff. Like, bring those games back. We need more on-rail shooters. I mean, they have them out there, but they need to bring more of those back bring that back to the console, right? We brought back Guitar Hero a few years ago, and Rock Band and stuff like that, and maybe those would make a resurgence too. That would be pretty cool. But I would love to see light gun games come back to the forefront and come out. And there could be everything has a resurgence, right? They could have a resurgence of light gun games, and we could have some really cool light gun games, especially if Microsoft or Sony invest in doing a light gun. Sony has their VR system, so they probably wouldn't do a light gun, but Xbox doesn't, right? So maybe they could do a light gun, or somebody can make a light gun for consoles that just works, right? And then we could see light gun games come to console, and you could play like House of the Dead remake with your light gun on the console, right? Because you can do it on the PC with your Sinden light gun. I think there's another gun that's a light gun as well. But anywho, the whole point is they're still making, they're going to continue making remakes, and it makes sense because these remakes have done really well for them. They've come out and they've been really good, and they've done really well for Capcom. So it makes sense for Capcom to continue that trend of making light gun games, or making remakes. Sorry, I got myself on light gun games here. Making remakes. Hopefully Code Veronica is next. I would love to see Code Veronica. I don't think it gets as much love from Capcom as I would like. I love Code Veronica personally. But who knows? Maybe with the Game Awards, maybe they will announce something. Not coming out anytime soon, but like maybe what they're working on next. I'm sure we'll see something from Capcom, but will it be the next Resident Evil remake? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Resident Evil 4 didn't come out too long ago, so they may not be ready to announce another remake yet. So anyway, it's good to know that they are still planning on and making Resident Evil remakes. Hopefully they make remakes for other things like Dino Crisis. Anybody? Huh? Capcom, you listening? Dino Crisis? Can we get one of those? Maybe Onimusha, right? I know they redid the original Onimusha, but I mean, they did redo the original, but they didn't really do like, they gave it the old remaster to the original Onimusha, right? Where they just polish it up a bit. They didn't do the whole remake like they've done with the Resident Evil games. So it'd be cool to see like Onimusha or Dino Crisis like get that Resident Evil remake polish where they've basically rebuilt the game from the ground up in a sense and put it out there. And because Capcom has a lot of older games, or even let's give another go to maybe redo Dead Rising. That would be cool. I love Dead Rising. Or Lost Planet. Yeah, remake the first Lost Planet, or maybe remake the second Lost Planet. Maybe. I mean, they got a lot of games in their old catalog that I would love to see. We're finally getting Dragon's Dogma 2, so start reaching into the. I like new things, but also there's some franchises that I think that they could continue on. So they could bring back to today's standard that they've kind of put in the back burner all this time, such as the games I mentioned. But anyway, that's great to know. But let us know down in the comments below, what's your favorite Resident Evil? And out of the ones they haven't remade, which Resident Evil game would you like to see remade next? Would it be Code Veronica 5? Maybe 6? Maybe Revelations 2? I mean, those are not super old games, so I don't think they would remake those, but who knows? What Umbrella Corps? Please no, not that game. Let us know down in the comments, which one you would like to see next as far as Resident Evil goes. And as far as their other franchises, what franchise has Capcom not touched in a long time that you would like to see them bring back from the ashes? One of the games that I loved, and the remake was all right, was Bionic Commando. Now I love the redo of the Bionic Commando 1 and 2 that they did for Xbox Arcade, I think back on the 360. But the new Bionic Commando game that came out in I don't know when it came out. When did that come out? 2009, I think. That one was okay, but it was cool to see Bionic Commando. Yeah, it came out in 2009. It was cool to see Bionic Commando like come back and a franchise. And they could have done more with it. I think I love the way that Bionic Commando played. I think the story was stupid, but it is what it is. They could continue Bionic Commando possibly, but let us know down in the comments below what you think. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry for my rambling here, but if you enjoyed or love discussion about video games and talking about what we enjoyed and what we're looking forward to, and the news topics of the day, do us a favor, help us out, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time, and we'll see you next time.